Electroblade. Toku for 2. Activate!
Welcome back for another special edition of Toku for 2W. We are here for another episode of Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity. Episode 3 just released this weekend, and I'm just going to rip off the Band-Aid right now. I really loved this episode. But, with me, I do want to hear the opinions of my two co-hosts. Not returning today is Christian. Unfortunately, he went away. We don't know when he's coming
here
back.
In spirit.
He did tell me to leave a message regarding as to what he wanted to say, not involving anything about this show. But he did say that the newest Kamen Rider show, Kamen Rider Zets, is that it's basically every single episode is always trying to top the last one. Take that as you will. But you may have already heard my other co-host's voice. Say hello, Will.
Hello, Will.
And say hello, Paul, the other co-host.
Electroplate!
Alrighty then. So, now that we've got everybody here, preamble over, let's go ahead and dive into this episode. So, this particular episode, we've got, like I said, it's episode 3 called Kiki and Koto. Let's start off with Will, because I feel like that you're going to have maybe better opinions.
Okay, maybe.
Will, what was your impression of Kiki and Koto, both the characters and the episode?
Solid episode. The characters are a lot of fun. Apparently their thing is joy, not the same as positivity. We're not going to go into that. They're yellow/gold. And I say they, technically only one of them is the Gavan for that universe.
But they are a duo.
Because I guess there's only one. But they are a duo. Essentially, one of them, if you've seen Rizzoli and Isles, it's literally that. But Japanese and cutesy.
What a reference. Good lord.
That's a deep
Rizzoli
cut,
and
too.
Isles, the same thing as Space Sheriff Gavan.
Yeah, it's that, but cutesy and Japanese. And with toys. Yeah, actually, that sums up the episode pretty well.
Yeah,
you've got the Smarty Pants, or Bones, but they're both women instead of one of them being a football player. Yeah, it's a dynamic and it works. That's why they keep doing it. You got the Smarty Pants. I just want to investigate the world, but also sees like the kind of person who embodies 1950s utopic science fiction. That's one of them. I genuinely don't remember which one was which because they were always on screen at the same time.
They weren't always on screen at the same time.
And basically within 5 feet of each other.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to doubt that one.
The farthest they get is when they actually do wide shots during like the fight at the end of the episode because they have to do wide shots and no one else needs to be in frame. That's about it. Otherwise, they're basically joined at the hip. I don't know if they're siblings or just friends or like what dynamic we're going for, but they're pretty much always there. One of them, like I said, scientist, super happy, super curious, that whole thing. The other one is a little calmer, but also genuinely pretty happy most of the time, and basically dressed like she's going to the gym. That one
both
feels
of them kind of did.
Koto. Okay, so
yeah,
Kiki,
but the scientist had a jacket.
Kiki is the super bubbly one, and Koto is the
actual detective.
The actual detective.
Like she's the quote unquote street fighter detective. Well, Kiki's the scientist, which I thought was honestly a really good bait and switch, where you thought that Koto was going to be the Gavan, but it turns out it was actually the scientist. I thought that was a really unique switch.
I like that. That was fun. I also like that this is the Gavan that has the weapon wheel from all of the fun games. She's essentially Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank. It's awesome. Ratchet and Clank also a duo that definitely makes this up. One of them's kind of super smartsy, and the other one's like, but if I hit with rock.
Oh, yeah.
Ratchet is probably not as clever as Koto, but it's same idea.
So now that we've got you out of the way, Paul, let's hear your bad take, which I'm going to assume that you have, Because the moment that you walked in, you said, "I have some opinions."
Okay. All right, so I
Already,
like
I
the
can
movie.
tell I'm gonna get angry.
I like the episode. I like this episode, and I did spend like the first 15-20 minutes trying to figure out who was going to be the Gavan, because I was like halfway through. I was like, the first few minutes, I'm like, okay, it's going to be Kiki. It's going to be Kiki. It's going to be Kiki. Like, because she was too bubbly, too everything, like, for me to, like, be like, yeah, she has to be the gold Gavan. And then I started looking at Koto's outfit and how she had, like, hints of gold in it. So I was like, oh, is that supposed to be, like, a play on how the red Gavan is always wearing that red jacket, and how the blue Gavan always has that blue kimono on top. I'm like, So I kept going,
Well,
like...
Look at you applying color theory.
I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out. And, like, Kiki didn't really have gold on her, so I'm like, alright. But, like, she was way too bubbly, and it got to me at a certain point. I was like, oh man, she is just too adorable for words. And I was like, oh man, this is such a bit, like, maybe it was just me, but I had huge lesbian vibes coming from Koto towards
Good
Kiki. Like, no, like, when she's talking to Renji and she's, like, explaining like how they work together, like, she's just like, she just makes, like, the job more fun and keeps life, you know, happy and cheerful. Like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, it really seemed like she had, like, this giant crush on her. So I was like, huh?
It's possible, but I kind of feel like that they aren't going to go that route.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of seems like that they just really get each other. But,
Yeah.
again, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only 3 episodes in. We don't really know anything other than what they've already shown us.
Yeah.
We can only guess and speculate.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were going to go for a twin dynamic with the two characters, but
Yeah.
they
Me
didn't.
too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought they were
yeah.
going to do at least, even if they're not the same, like, related, I was kind of hoping for this universe, the power is broken in half, and they have to, like, combine to make it. Like a, what is it, Firestar? Or
Firestorm.
The
Firestorm.
yeah, Firestorm.
DC.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, from DC, where they literally, or the Wonder Twins. Like, just the whole idea of these two characters become one. Or DBZ with Cauliflower, except that
From,
was a lesbian romance.
From what I heard, they also do the same thing in Kamen Rider Double. They actually have somebody who does a double henshin like that.
Oh. Okay.
Cool.
But it was a...
Yeah, I don't know if they will. They might do the one character dies and passes the mantle for vengeance, but that seems a bit dark for this show.
I mean, this ain't Dragon Quest 11, so
Nah.
hopefully not.
This isn't Voltron. No one's gonna die.
But
I enjoyed this
Yeah.
episode, and I will say this: I don't know what it is, but the uniforms that they're wearing, they look so familiar. Like, and they
you know what
remind
this
me
one reminded
of
me of?
Gundam
I'm gonna
uniforms.
cut you off here for a second. This one was basically the Green Ranger, just with the yellow sheen to it,
Yeah.
or golden sheen, because she had their version of what looked like the dragon armor.
Oh yes, and I actually really like that.
Yeah,
I like that hers glowed.
Mm-hmm.
They gave
Yes,
hers
it
like a
did.
light up feature, and it had like a mouth. That was cool.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, she must be a Dead Mouse fan.
it was.
Yeah.
This episode was really good. What was it? Oh, how many times did you guys have to watch the ending to get it?
I only watched it once and I understood it.
When
Okay,
you say watch the ending, what do you mean?
the last line he tells them. Like, I read it and then I was like, wait a second, I needed to rewind that just to make sure.
You won't be able to survive this other Earth or something like that.
Oh, where he told them they would die if they left their universe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it doesn't explain how he doesn't die when he leaves his.
Yeah, like
And they yell back, "You're just adding more questions." And I was like, "Thank you for voicing the audience."
yeah, it's like what?
That makes no sense. What do you mean that's a rule?
Yeah,
It could have just been him being playful. I have no idea.
Yeah, it could have been. He also could have been telling the truth, and like his universe, they had to invest like a ton of technology and research to actually do what they do without dying.
Yeah.
So
And that salute. Come on, dude. I could not do that salute with a straight face.
that was. I was figuring that one out as the episode went on. I'm like, how are they doing that? That's not how arms work.
Like,
Okay, so if you like turn your whole torso to the side while leaving your face forward, you can do that. And I'm like, yeah, that's not how arms work, man. You really got to like lean into it to make it work, especially depending on how wide your shoulders may be. It gets more difficult depending on how that is.
They are limber as fuck.
okay, it's not that it's not that complicated. It's literally a normal salute, except you bend the elbow towards the other. It's a weird thing. It's like you're using your other arm to be a sunshade for the opposite eye. It's like, what the? Why go why go across your body? Why go across your body?
Salutes in the real world have a reason behind them. Like there's actual like a reason that certain salutes happen the way that they do.
Yeah.
I would love to hear that universe's explanation for that.
We're not gonna get it. You absolutely know we're not gonna get it.
No, not at all. That is a detail that, if anyone even bothered to think about it, is buried in a footnote on like the fourth draft of a thing. So like there's a post-it note somewhere in someone's office that defines that, and they're like, okay, cool, but it's not making it into the show, but I'm glad you invented it so the world makes sense to you.
I feel like it was something that came up like literally the moment they were filming it. They're like, oh shit, we have to come up with a salute.
It has to be weird because these two are like the happy, fun characters, so they're like, make it kind of like goofy, kind of strange. Like the only thing weirder than that would be like sticking your leg into the air as like a salute, and you're like, what? Why are they doing that?
So with that said, let's go ahead and dive into the synopsis for this particular episode. It starts off with a murder scene, which I wasn't expecting.
I mean, they do work in forensics, by the way, the two of them.
Yeah.
They do.
Like she dresses in science, but the two of them work for the forensics department of their universe. They're CSIs.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So it starts off with a crime scene with a dead body, except the body's not really there. It's just a corpse made entirely out of foam. Don't tell them about all those old school Disney days that we had at the end of high school.
Did the one thing that Square Enix couldn't, made foam cool.
Wow.
I will take that dig.
Speaking of dead.
Speaking of dead, did you guys see High Guard? What's it? Made it 37 days?
Not even a month or 2 months.
I feel really bad for those developers. But anyways, moving on. It has nothing to do with this.
Nope.
This is entirely a foam-based... corpse doesn't feel like the right word, because I don't know if it turned into foam, or the foam replaced it, like how a fossil isn't the thing that it is. A fossil is just a rock shaped like the thing that it was. That's all a fossil is.
I'm not even entirely sure how it became a corpse, other than the fact that they said, oh, it's because of Emorgi, which, I get it, but what caused it to happen? Like, was it the giant
emoji
thing that we see at the end,
that
or
means
what?
that the thing that turns stuff into bubbles and turned the building into bubbles and melts like a chunk of the world behind them.
Yeah.
You see, I didn't realize that was turning things into bubbles. That makes sense now.
You thought the building just spontaneously bubbled itself?
Yeah.
I didn't see it bubbled. I saw a shade of white.
Hold on.
And I'm like, okay, this is weird.
You missed the entire mansion turning into bubbles scene?
Again, I didn't see that turn into bubbles. I saw it turn into a shade of white. Everybody was freaking out, and then it just disintegrated. That's what I saw.
Were you watching this on a really tiny screen?
I watched it on my laptop.
I did too, and I saw it.
We might need to invest in glasses for you. So I think it's time to add a stretch goal. Do we have an Indiegogo for that?
We will start a
show?
Patreon soon.
We will start a Patreon specifically for you to get glasses, because this man's telling me he didn't see an entire mansion turn into bubbles.
Yeah. And it clearly show that the creature was shooting it out its mouth.
Yes. At one point, it shoots at them and it misses, and it hits the ground behind them, and it turns into this like slop and then foam.
Yeah, and they show it doing it
just to drive home.
Was a giant Mega Draymon. And
what?
Fucking just
no, that wasn't. That thing was Valifor from FF10.
Okay,
wow.
Yeah, at least. Oh man.
More Final Fantasy references, and we're already 3 episodes in.
Wow. Yeah, no, this is a lot of Square Enix. Who's making this show again?
Toei.
Toei. How in bed with Square are they? Because it's feeling like a lot.
Not at all, I'm afraid. It's usually Bandai Namco.
Oh, okay. Good old Namco Bandai.
One of those. So
whichever one upsets them more.
Right. I need to get back into playing Tekken. Anyways, so with regards to them finding this corpse, with it being all sudsy and foamy, they determined that it is now an Emorgi case. So they make it back onto their base.
Oh, are we going to explain why they know it's an Emorgi case? Because there's a very specific reason.
Oh yeah, Kiki tested it with a sample using her Emorgear, and the Emorgear is like, oh look, it's reeking of Emorgi. Well, there you go. It's an Emorgi crime.
Also, just for clarification, Kiki can Dr. Doolittle speak to the Emorgi.
Oh, yeah.
The main character kind of just reads, like with animals, the main character just kind of reads the emotional state and like the physical actions.
Like Pokemon, where they go, ammo!
Yeah, they just kind of make noises. Kiki can legitimately understand them. The main character, Reiji, kind of just guesses like a person talking to an animal. Mm-hmm. Like, I can speak in sentences to the cat, but the cat doesn't necessarily know it all. Yeah, he goes off vibes.
Oh my god, that's why Aki says Gavibe all the time. Fucking hell.
You just got that? Did you just get that?
Continue.
Yep. Anyways, we broke him a little.
Allow me to catch up and reboot.
So, this is a Emorgi crime because she is Dr. Doolittle for the little Emorgiers. She can just straight up have conversations with them, and they like tap her on the shoulder and then tell her stuff. Which Koto just 100% accepts. She's like, sure, you can talk to them. Cool.
Yeah. I think she...
So they move on real quick from that, and she's like, okay, we should do this, this, and this, which was nice. It showed them as not just fun, but like competent at their job. Kiki tells her, hey, I need these things, and Koto immediately turns to the cops who are securing the scene and goes, hey, this is what we need. I need you, you, and you to go do this. I need you to go over here. So they're both like, they know what they're doing. They're just... She's bubbly and happy. It's just her thing.
Yeah. It's like...
So...
You have Koto, who is literally, like, normal person, and then you have Kiki, who is, like, Bubbles and Pinkie Pie together. Like, in one being, and just, like, bouncing up and down at a crime scene. I wouldn't be surprised if, like... She saw an actual dead body and was like, "Aw, it's posed in a cute way."
Hang on. Do you remember what they were talking about before they even got to the actual dead body?
Oh, they were discussing lunch.
Mm-hmm.
They were discussing a dream with lunch within the dream.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're hungry. Because it's lunchtime. So they were like, now we're talking about food. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That whole walk-in,
just...
I got some serious Law and Order vibes. I'm like, Jesus, Lenny would be right next to them going, yeah, I could really go for a bagel.
Yeah.
God, that scene, just they're so conditioned to this. They're like, oh yeah, crime scene, dead people. Anyways, you hungry? I could go for noodles.
I can already tell they're going to be my favorite characters. Just the two
by a lot. They are very fun. Plus, it's 2, so you get a dynamic, so it's not static.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, they are a lot of fun. Anywho, moving on, they go back to their station, and while they are in, I assume their locked down police building. Fucking Reiji just walks into the room and stands behind him looking over their shoulder. They both look at him like, who the fuck are you?
Skipped over an entire thing there.
They did?
Yep. So
I got noodles,
back it up a little
foam,
bit. So we
they're
go from the
happy, she gets told that it's a thing. What did I miss?
So we go from the
Reiji
corpse scene,
getting
and then we go
bitched.
back to the federal police station, the Galaxy Federal Police Station that Reiji works at. So he's there with his, he's reporting to his commanding officer, his CO, and by the way, so you remember in original Gavan, the original commander is Commander Quam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not only is Reiji called Reiji from Gavan, his superior officer is Karel Quam Wigless.
Oh,
I see what
wow.
they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that I think
have-
Reiji would lose a fight against the original, though. Even without his armor. That man would just absolutely tear him apart.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. He would Solid Snake karate chop him CQC.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He would just walk up,
It's like,
hit him once,
After,
and he-
after he slides up backwards up a horse.
yeah.
yeah. That's assuming he doesn't run Reiji over with his Jeep. But yeah.
So they report everything to him, and then they get an alert that they're going to go to the next Emarji signal. Now, one thing that I noticed from the last episode, but it didn't really dawn on me on this one, is that every time he goes out, he's using a different ship. This was a different
not.
colored ship this time around.
No,
That's his ship.
that was the
They
same
added,
ship.
they added an accessory.
Yeah.
Oh.
That he asked
Okay.
for
He asked...
the sword module, wasn't it?
I forget what it was called, but he basically asked for the sword
Gavarian
module.
saber.
Yeah, that thing. The purple one. He asked for that to be like authorization, and they said, yeah, sure, you can take it. So it attached to the front of his ship, and then they took the ship out with that attached, which is why they had the sword during the fight.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
that-
I thought he was just
that
taking out
specifically
like
was
a
the thing.
different capsule for it or some shit. Okay, that's cool.
Nope. It was an attachment for it. Come on, man. You know how this works. You got to get the accessories.
Yeah, and they even
That's how
showed.
they market everything.
Yeah, they even showed that there's more out there. Like they rotated a yellow one in, a yellow one out, and a red one out to get to that purple one.
Yeah. I think the yellow one is the drill.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, fucking really? God damn it. All right.
The yellow one
side
had drill.
tangent to all of this.
Had little
Side
drill.
tangent to all this real quick. So, after I had watched this episode, I was working.
You got 2 minutes.
Ooh.
Motherfucker. I finished all my work. I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and watch an episode of something based off of our, missing co-host, Christian. He recommended Kamen Rider Fourze. Now, Kamen Rider Fourze is a Kamen Rider show, but written by the lead writer of Gurren Lagann. Now, I know what you're thinking. Lots of drills, lots of sexual
Explosions.
innuendos.
Lots of explosions.
Hot-blooded people who just want to take off their clothes and beat the shit out of others.
With the arms crossed? Arms crossed speeches?
Yeah, that actually happens multiple times.
Don't
I'm only
believe
2
in
episodes
the-
in. That
don't
has
believe
happened
in
multiple
yourself.
times.
Believe in the
Wow.
me that believes in
Sometimes
you.
But you mentioned the drill. So one of the accessories that this Kamen Rider gets is a drill accessory. And it's basically like a chainsaw. He has one where it's a chainsaw that it's attached to his foot. And then every time he
Nice.
does a spinning kick, he's able to use the chainsaw. But then the
That's
other
fucking
one...
Awesome.
The other one, he launches the monster using his motorbike that comes in. He launches a monster up into the air using a bunch of missiles, gets his bike to position up in a tower formation, jetpacks with the bike, just thrusts off, slams into the monster, up into space, jumps off the bike, and then commands his belt to attach a rocket accessory and the drill accessory. The drill goes on the bottom of his foot so he can do his Kamen Rider kick at supersonic speeds, but
Yep.
with a drill attached.
Oh, that reminds me.
That is so Dante.
Oh,
Yeah.
that reminds me about this episode. The Gold Gavan. I honestly thought that was going to be like just used for a kick. No, that was used for her gun.
That was used to hold her down so she wouldn't get knocked over because she pulls out a gun so big that she'll win the fight.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, this is going to knock me over into next Tuesday. So she gets a drill to anchor her entire body and then proceeds to fire the gun and one-shot the enemy.
God, that was so cool.
To quote a part of our childhood, the answer was gun.
Yep.
And if not, use more gun.
Okay. Did you also notice her Gavan gun has little ornaments on the end?
It does.
She does.
Yeah.
She has, when she transformed, she had tassels
Yeah.
hanging off it. I didn't get to look at them because it was too far out.
Yeah.
But I want to know what's hanging from it now.
Like, that is so adorable.
He's the only one who accessorized, because all three of them have the same gun for transforming, and for the only one who shoots emotional shots is Reiji, because I think he's the only one with the actual ammo, like more
She
emojis.
did an emotional burst at the end.
Yeah, she does.
She did, but the blue one didn't do it, and they didn't even show him having any. And then she happened to have one, but Reiji switches emotions. He's done 4 already.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think he's the only one with the ammo. I think everyone else has 1.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I noticed that when we see the black emoji pop out, it usually does do the whole Berserker Rage thing. So I think that's what we're going to see, at least probably for the first half of the season, is just people getting randomly turned into the Berserker Rage moment.
From what I can tell, to kind of conjecture it, what happens is when the Amorgear gets overloaded with negative energy, it causes that outburst and basically pops out of that little container, and that's where you get the rubber suit, and that's where when it generates that. Because if you don't, then it's okay. Because they said the Amorgear, the whatevers, they're not purely based on one side of the emotional spectrum. They basically just act as a focus and an amplifier. So if you fill them with happy thoughts, essentially, they're fine. And it considers, which I'm actually kind of proud of them, sad and gloomy are not considered negative emotions. They're just considered emotions. When they say negative, they mean hatred, rage, wanting to hurt someone. They mean negatively impact other people. Not just you don't feel good. It considers all parts of the emotional spectrum, like the Green Lanterns. It considers all the parts to be useful, just different parts of a same whole. Good job, writers.
I mean, hey, we're only 3 episodes in, so that's pretty good conjecture.
Yeah. Oh man, I really want to see Reiji shoot somebody with the anxiety one, and they just start shaking and fall to the ground on their knees and just stare.
I don't know if he'll do that. He's got so much
that'd be
positivity,
really
he'll probably
funny.
just do Charm Boost again.
He shot somebody with gloomy, so they'd be sad.
Yeah, that's true. Never mind.
Which is really funny, by the way. Just finishing a fight by making them really, really depressed for 30 seconds.
So, speaking of depression, when we cut back to them launching, which, by the way, I like the fact that basically how they tether to another universe is they basically do a little chain tether to their Earth that they're already in, and then that's what launches them to go into another universe by pulling from that particular one and just going at such high speed in order to just pinpoint to that exact moment in the other, or exact place in the other universe. I like that a lot. It's a really cheap effect, but I like it a lot. So from there, 2 things, because one, you mentioned Sadbot shows up, Setsuna, who is Gavan Blue. You
Sure,
see
he has a
him
name. I will only call him Sadbot. Because
we might as well.
That my brain can't stop being you're the sad robot.
And he actually emotes
Fine,
this
we'll call him
episode.
Sadbot from now on. But he shows up, and he's talking to the guy that they ended up arresting in the second episode. I believe his name is Karo Sumaru.
I just call him
So
Budget Torchwood.
That's good, but I hope people understand that that's a reference to Ruby. Anyways, so they're interrogating him, and he's not really giving them any information. And as he's walking out, he's talking with his superior officer, who is basically why didn't you arrest the other Gavan?
Yeah, she seemed kind of awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like her. She just seems kind of shitty.
Yeah. So...
Wait, isn't she the one in the
maybe it's just
flashback?
because she's concerned about the universe?
No,
but...
that was a different person dressed differently. If they are the same person, she was dressed totally differently, and at that moment, not being mean. When they show her, when they show his boss in this, she's basically Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And it's you're gonna ruin something.
Now, so there's that, and then the second thing that we see is as Reiji is launching his ship and they're heading out, you see the other cop who's like an actual, beat cop with his robo friend Patron, who
Oh yeah.
Reiji constantly calls them as a combination of their names as Wanipot, and they get super offended by it.
He only does it to annoy them. 100%. It's just to annoy them.
But to be fair, they're also beat cops who are incredibly annoying on their end.
And they
So it's
they
just like-
act like dicks to Reiji all the damn time, though. So
Are
they
you saying
deserve
that
it.
they're a couple of dicks because they're detectives? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm
Yes,
calling them
yes,
a
exactly.
couple
That's
of dicks.
100%
'cause
what
they're
he
a
meant.
Dick. I hate them
Paul,
so
you
much.
should have just gone with the wordplay. Shame on you. I'm gonna mute you for 10 seconds. Anyways, so after all that, then Paul, now that you are unmuted, tell us what happens when Reiji shows up on their ship.
Reiji literally looks like he walked in on something he wasn't supposed to for like 10 seconds of him just looking around like, where am I? Was I supposed to walk in that door? What's going on here? And looking over their shoulder and then getting bombarded by like 18 different questions from Koto and Kiki, and having to show that he is also a cop.
So you're missing some key things there. What were they looking at?
Oh, they were looking at the they were reviewing the crime scene data that they had and trying to figure out who the guy was and who he was related to and all that BS. And
Right, and then Reiji comes in and he's like, "Oh, so that's the dead guy."
yeah, just being a dumbass. He was.
I mean, it worked because
Yeah.
then at that point, after he explains everything, that's when we get that weird, sheriff. I'm trying to do it on my end, and my arms like I'm a fucking stocky guy, so like seeing that, I can barely do it. But yeah,
I did it like as soon as I saw them do it. I was like trying to figure out how to do that salute. I was like, "What the hell?" Like,
yeah, they can bend in ways that we cannot.
we mere mortals cannot. Yeah, he does the
But
stupid.
Agi shows up and she immediately gives them their signal too, and it's just like, Agi, you're not human, but you're cute as fuck. Goddamn. So then, what happens from there?
From there, after Kiki gets extremely close to, I'm pretty sure she was like 10 seconds away from saying, "I want to dissect Aji so I can figure out how she works." Because she was literally like poking her to see like, "You're real? I thought you were just a robot, but you're real. Like, you're here." They go down to the crime scene to investigate it, and while they're there, they figure out that the guy also worked for this crime boss, and they figure out, let's go and interrogate the crime boss. And Reiji actually does something intelligent and threatens the crime boss. "Hey, well, how about I just sit here and just ask you questions and waste your time and just keep visiting you and make sure that you're, annoyed by me."
That's not entirely what he
That's
says.
not really what he threatened him with. He threatened him
Yeah.
with, "You look like you did some bad stuff to get your job. Sure would be a terrible thing if someone had to look into what you did and find out what those skeletons in the closet are."
He
And
specifically
he looked at him
names
like,
one of those things because Agi actually gave it to him.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Agi tells him what it was. And then the guy looks at him like, "Yeah, you bring up a good point." And then I think in the middle of them talking to him and it like genuinely going their way, the building nearly disintegrates.
Yeah, go ahead and tell me from there because that's apparently where I bubbled out.
Yeah, you really did bubble out there. I
So
will say that monster design
the
was so
building
cool.
starts shaking like an earthquake, and they all freak out and run out, and the entire building disintegrates into foam and bubbles. And they're all very confused. Everyone. Bad guy, them. Nobody has any idea what's going on. And then Valifor shows up.
We almost forgot. So Paul didn't set the room up properly. So
yeah.
when he goes to meet the this crime boss, who is apparently not into crime anymore, when he goes to meet him, he's surrounded by agents who look like they're part of the Yakuza clan.
Mm-hmm.
They're really driving that home.
Yeah. Like, literally, you go to a costume shop and say you want to look like Yakuza, they are wearing that costume.
Yeah, pretty
Complete
much.
with sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But
Did they have hats too?
Because it sets up the next moment of the scene here.
Yeah, because they all run out of the building, and those guys are clearly meant to, like, protect that dude. And then Valifor shows up and nearly vomits on them, and it misses. And then while they're fighting in what can only be described in, and I trust me when I say I don't mean this in a bad way, a bunch of people in costumes at the local park fighting and videotaping it.
Damn.
That's what this fight scene is. It's fantastic, and I love it.
Yeah.
The reason it happens is because the bad guy shows up who's controlling the giant monster, and essentially Berserker rages all of the Yakuza dudes, all the minions. He turns them into minions for him, and they all get taken over, and then the main characters have to fight them.
Okay, I'm really curious, who is the villain? Like,
so what happened is the guy whose house they went to was at one point a poacher.
No, I know that, but
You mean, like, in terms of the big bad?
Yeah, like, the big...
That guy's totally unrelated.
Okay, because they both had, like, these weird, like, 3D tattoo piercing things on their faces in the exact same spot that nobody else had. Like, I literally thought it was like a fly.
I don't know what line that's supposed to draw, or if, like, we haven't watched enough Gavan to know what that reference is. It might just be a design. But the line to the bad guy they were originally arresting and dealing with is the guy they wanted to go after worked with another guy because the guy who died worked as a poacher with the dude whose house they went to that turned into bubbles.
Yeah.
The two of them were poachers. They killed an animal. The guy who's the quote-unquote bad guy for this episode is mad about the dead animal, and he used an Amorgear to make his vengeance come to life, essentially.
Yeah.
And he used as a totem, essentially, the jawbone of whatever creature they killed, because that was the thing that he cared about, and he focused his hatred through the Amorgear into that, which generated a monster, and then he used that monster to attack people.
Yeah.
I know this sounds like a lot, and they really gloss over quite a bit, but this is what happened, going backwards. And so that jawbone turns into the monster. He uses the monster to attack people, and that's where we are in the episode where they're fighting it. And they wind up having to fight the giant monster. They summon their purple ship to Slicey Slice,
So
and then they
before we
summon
get into
the
that really
giant
awesome
monster.
scene, because I actually really, really like that. What did the monster look like? Now, I mentioned before that I personally thought it was more like Mega Draymon.
It looked more like a giant bird to me.
I thought it
kinda
looked like
a giant
Rodan.
bird, but
Alien bird.
the way that they're describing it on the wiki is that they're calling it a dragon.
I
don't
could
think
that's
a
not
dragon.
far off.
see it,
I get
but
that.
Like, if we were to really give it a comparison, it would be more like a bony, like a more corrupted, bony version of Imperial Dramon.
I could see that. Like,
Yeah. Not the paladin mode that looks like a person, but like the
But the
four-legged
actual
one.
dragon version, yeah.
Yeah, the like four-legged one that like has wings and
Yeah.
like that.
So, and it's blasting its bubble juice everywhere. I almost said bubble jizz.
It's using bubble beam.
yeah, we use
Bubble
beam.
There you go. It's using bubble beam everywhere. And then that's when the guy pops out and he decides that, you're the one who's responsible for everything. You killed my pet. I'm going to take you down. And then, the Yakuza guy, can't say Yakuza guy. The alleged criminal said, hey, as you can see, I'm not the bad guy here. He is.
Sorry. What Sean meant was the local businessman who is a pillar
Yes.
of the community.
The local
there you go.
corrupt businessman.
And
Hey.
Okay, no, what? No, I'll be, I'll be
You're not
diplomatic.
much of anything if you just stop.
Fine. I'm gonna be diplomatic and say the individual who resembles a upstanding public figure we have now. He says,
I'm
"I'm
just
not
gonna
the
let
villain."
it sit because that was a really terrible draw. I know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
That was terrible. I
Yeah.
want you to think about what you've done.
Fine. I'm gonna think about what I done.
Good.
I done good.
Anyways, so that's when the Emor gear ends up being switched on again, and he ends up corrupting all of the other bodyguards, and they end up going into berserker rage, and they end up turning against both the businessman and the Gavan and the two girls. So Reiji, he does his split second henshin, saves the businessman from a bubble beam, aimed directly at him, which honestly, that was pretty fucking cool. I am so glad that every time that he doesn't do a long one, they actually manage to show him doing a split second transformation. God, and he uses it in such a good defensive maneuver too. Fucking love that. From there, he's I can't say double team. Maybe it's a double team with
Yeah.
Kodo. Yeah, with Kodo. And they're both kicking ass. She hasn't transformed at all. She's just busy kicking ass in her, outfit. And
With her pistol.
they both get back to back. Yeah, and she's just being a badass. And then Kiki, she's off hiding off, trying to assess the situation. And then things get turned, to a sour note where all of a sudden, that's when the ship comes in, and Reiji. Fuck, Will. Is this when Reiji ends up calling upon the bureaucracy move in order to unleash the Zord?
Not yet. They summon, I think, the purple one first, and it starts cutting the thing, and then when they realize it's not strong enough, they're like, hey, the brass are all running around again. I don't know what's going on. And then they, all use their thumbprint, and then Reggie's like, all right, I'm going to punch you in the face now.
Pretty much. Dude, that was so fucking cool when he did it. Oh, okay. When they did this, my honest thought was like, this is fucking Monster Hunter right here. He's literally slicing up and down like he's a goddamn
he cuts
Rathian.
the tail off, and my brain went, oh, I've been there. He's hunting a ruby.
It was straight up fucking Monster Hunter. I was happy. This episode's goddamn good. Oh, fuck. So then, Will, what happens from there?
He fights the giant monster with his big old robot, and, they fight. And then he winds up winning. And so what happens, though, is he defeats it in his giant form, and it basically shrinks down. But that's not the end of it, because the guy freaks out about it losing, and he gets even more upset. And when he does, it overloads the thing and creates one of those giant negative zone face things. And Reiji appropriately freaks out and basically grabs Kiki, and he's like, oh, we gotta go. You're gonna, die if you fall in there. Because the exact description last episode was, if a human were to fall in, you would immediately die. Because it's basically falling into a singularity. You just cease to exist.
Yeah, he says it's gonna tear you apart.
Yeah.
Literally, it's gonna tear you apart.
Yeah, because that's basically what would happen. It just rips you apart and you're gone. You cease to be. The only reason they're fine is because they're wearing very specific armor that lets them not die. And then the aliens don't, because they haven't explained those, but we're going to leave that alone. It's basically magic. And so he freaks out.
Well, just to point this out, so after the giant dragon ends up being taken down and ends up going back to its base form, the base form is the rubber monster that we've seen in the last two episodes.
Okay, I thought so.
Is my question. Is that the basic version of an Emmons before it becomes whatever people can use in order to turn it into a mutated version of, what they want, like using their emotional outbursts, and some sort of totem in order to turn it into whatever.
So
is that the basic form that we're going to see?
That's a fair question, because the way that the Emmons work, the little capsule things are them sealed, not necessarily in a negative way. That's just when they're sealed, they're in that little thing. they come out, and when they do, so far we've only seen them emerge because of negativity, and I don't know if that's their true form or just when one of them gets all twisted and messed up because of what they've been soaking in, it generates that, and they're essentially energy beings with no form. But when they get too much negativity, they always turn into that physical form. Also, as a reminder, the jawbone thing I mentioned, this one has that jawbone as its arms. So that is part of it. I think they blow it off. No. Oh, God. Hold on. When he fights it, the jawbone is part of the giant bird thing, dragon, whatever. And then it gets blown off, and that's when it becomes the small one. And those getting knocked off turn it back into that normal rubber suit version. But because it shrank down and it's still, he freaks out and it generates the giant smiley face of doom. Reiji freaks out and is like, hey, you're going to die, you should leave. And she's like, nah, it's fine, it's cool. And then she proceeds to confuse everyone by going main character.
Yep. Just transforms.
And turns into the gold one. And Reiji's like, what the fuck? And then she does the thing none of them have done and goes, I have a weapon wheel.
Yeah.
And then she proceeds to pull out a big gun and a drill, attaches the drill to her foot, drills it into the ground to hold herself, and then Noisy crickets the giant smiley face of doom.
See, this
and
is
it goes
why she's
away.
my favorite. She's just so goddamn cool.
And then and like they said earlier, Paul mentioned, she has tassely things hanging off of her gun because she accessorized, because of course she did. So that's how she did it, and when she uses her attack, it's cool looking, and she, like, her suit lights up, and you can see like a face where her mouth is, essentially, and there's a bunch of lines that light up, which I don't know if it's just After Effect or if they put like lights in the suit for part of it, and then they just enhanced it, but it looks really neat. And like he said, her top of the armor looks, so the other guy's looks like a, I can't name it, but it's the, like, what samurai would wear when they're out of their armor, but, like, still dressed well. It's a...
Like a Mandalorian. No, I'm kidding.
No, not like a Mandalorian. Mandalorians don't look like anything. That's a useless word.
How dare you?
I meant with the Mandalorian armor, but okay.
How dare you?
That's not even remotely what they... You're not even, like, on base. She has shoulders.
It was a bad joke. Continue.
You are a bad joke.
Ooh, damn.
Wow.
Pain.
I'm still not going to remove you because I still respect you over Paul.
Wow.
Wow. He's a little bitch.
No, so the top half of hers looks more like it's fused to her chest plate, and it's a big old piece of armor with big old shoulders. And I don't know about you guys, but I've played a lot of Blizzard games. Shoulders look cool in armor.
Yeah.
So yeah, hers look neat. I can't think that in reality if that wouldn't be annoying to move in, because unlike a chest protector that would move with your torso, hers looks like it's a little more beefy, and so I feel like certain arm movements might legitimately hit it. But, you know, it looks cool, and that's really all that's important.
Yeah.
Nothing else really matters. It's always rule of cool. That's how this works. And
I'm
she does
looking at
that.
it right
She
now.
wins.
She looks like part Sector from is it Sector or no, Cyrax, part Cyrax from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, because he's yellow.
Yeah.
I mean, Cyrax and Sector are the same thing. They're identical.
Yeah,
That's the point.
well, in the newer ones, they actually have a little bit more distinction to them.
Okay. I'm sorry. I have been buying those. My bad.
Well, shame on you, motherfucker.
Yeah, there's a new one coming out. Double shame.
You mean the movie? Yeah,
Is there?
yeah.
No, there's a new game.
No, Mortal Kombat 1 already came and went.
There's a new
pretty sure there's
movie
another
coming
new game.
out with
Nothing
Carl
else
Urban.
Yeah, new movies coming out.
And a new game.
How the fuck did we get on this tangent?
that's all about the Cage family.
No?
God damn
There's
it.
2 of them now?
No, don't feed into that, Paul. Don't do it.
What? I know that there's...
Anyways,
Bitch.
she looks like Cyrax, but she also has the dragon armor piece, but it's all decked out in like a flossed black kind of thing, where it's just like lines of black that goes along where the dragon armor goes. And she's kind of almost like has like bug-like features a little bit, but I don't know, it's really, really cool looking. So yeah, she totally destroys that. She goes, what does she say to Dentsu, the bad guy?
I don't remember.
Oh,
So,
I feel your emo gear's pain. I'm going to help you.
yes.
I'm gonna help you, or something like that.
I want you to be able to smile again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's essentially talking him down from the ledge of vengeance with, what is it? When you go out to commit an act of revenge, dig two graves, one for the one you're hunting and one for you.
Oh, you mean
It's that
like
whole
with
idea.
Deadpool, 3 or 5 seconds?
Yeah, essentially. Except Deadpool doesn't care. Too bad we're not getting any more of those anytime.
I mean, stop tangenting!
Yeah, can we wrap this up?
Yes. So she tries to instill, a brief moment of, not regret, but she basically wants to make sure that he can feel remorse for what he's done, and then also find, an edge of happiness. That way he can try to move on and be happy with his life. And then proceeds to arrest him.
Nothing makes people happier than paying their debt to society.
Yep.
Judge Dredd taught me that.
So after all that's been said and done, Reiji's like, hey, so it's been fun hanging out with y'all. Y'all did a really good job, but I'm going to go. Then they proceed to barrage him with endless questions, and he's only saved by Agi teleporting in. He's like, hey, yeah, we got to go. And then he just slips out anyway. He's like, yeah, all right. Don't try to follow me. You'll die. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
And they proceed to yell at him. That just answers more questions. What the hell? And then he runs away.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, solid episode. I do want to go ahead and note the new cast members that we got. So for, in fact, I don't think I've actually set off any of the normal ones that we have. So I'll go ahead and go through them real quick. Reiji Doki, who's the Red Gavan, he is played by Kohei Nagata, or Nagata. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I think it's Nagata. Setsuna Aiko Kuin is played by Ryuga Akahane. Kiki Iwai is played by Kokona Sumi. Let's see here. Agi is played by Kohana Arisaka.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see who else. Where's Koto? I'm trying to find Koto in here. Oh, there we go. Kotobuki Takanari is played by Lana Tanida. Obviously, I don't know any of these characters, like any of these actors. I was trying to look it up to see if there's anybody that I could try to pull, but I can't find anything currently. But if anybody ever happens to listen or happens to know anything that they've been on beforehand, please let us know in any of the comments, either on YouTube, Spotify, or any other podcast thing. But yeah, so that's the cast, the traditional cast that we're going to keep on seeing. And if we happen to get any more, then I'll definitely add them in later. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and go over our rankings. So, with this being episode 3, where would we place this in our S through F ranking? Personally, for me, I think we should go S. This has been the best episode so far.
This is my favorite.
I concur.
Alright, cool. I don't have to yell at Paul further. Or at least we're not right now.
Wow.
That's good.
Seriously?
He'd be outnumbered, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
True.
Majority of the time I am.
Oh, wait, hang on. So, incoming transmission from Christian, because I completely glossed over the fact that I asked him what his rankings are. For the most part, he gave almost everything that we're going to be going over the ranking of C.
Ooh.
But since he's the only one who thinks that, screw you, Christian.
Damn.
It's still going to be S rank.
Wow. He really doesn't like this episode. Did he say why?
No, he didn't go over it, and let's see. He said originally he was trying to give it number rankings, and I told him to go ahead. I yelled at him to go through letters, but he goes, total episode I give a 5. Henshin and costume I give a 9. My favorite moment was with the Luminous Henshin and the Luminous fight. I felt like for me this show, if it's good, it's so good, but when it's bad, it's bad. Now this is so far that can 100% change around mid-season. I get where he's coming from. He's our resident Toku guy who's actually, watched way more than either of us combined.
Oh, yeah.
So I can understand his reasoning for that. But as for essentially us being newbies to this, I think we outrank him on it.
I'm also only giving this a rating based off of within itself. I'm not comparing this to anything else.
No.
Out of these episodes, this is number one.
Exactly, yeah.
I would put it behind the pilot. I still like the pilot more.
Motherfucker, the pilot is number 3 on our list. In the A ranking.
No, I think I just think fondly of the opening so much.
I mean, the opening was pretty good.
Okay, so...
The opening that plays every
No.
episode?
No. He means like the opening where we're introduced to all the Gavans fighting in space.
Oh, yeah. The big fight scene where they do the thing of, you'll know these characters at some point.
Yeah, that thing. That.
Welcome to anime. This is called a hook. Stick around for 24 episodes.
And hope it's not like Gurren Lagann,
next.
where it leads to nothing.
To be fair, though, I feel like that they did that just to fuck with us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I thought they did that because of massive writing changes in the middle of the show.
It's possible.
Like, they were genuinely going to go there, and then by the time they got halfway through the first, like, major arc, they were like, oh, I guess we're just not going to do that, because we're not doing that version of the story anymore. And then they completely changed it.
It's honestly possible, because Trigger is known for 2 different things. Budget issues, or trolling their fans.
Oh, yeah.
Either intentionally or unintentionally. If they were writing week to week, like Darling in the Franxx was, and boy, could you tell.
Tune in to Big Mecha But Not Huge in order
yeah.
for us to have a Darling in the Franxx conversation.
Yeah, 20 years from now, when it's having an anniversary.
We'll get into anniversaries later. So, I'm actually changing one of the things that we had as our ranking. Instead of just henshins, I'm going to call it the henshin/costumes ranked. So, in terms of basically what we like as the better transformation with the design. So, currently we have Reiji as our number 1 henshin, and we also have the Bushido henshin as our number 2. Where would we have Luminous? I'm going to go with Paul on this one.
I'm going to give her 1. Because...
Really?
I like that I didn't know that she was going to be the one to transform. And having her transform was so her. Like, every little thing. Because I just rewatched her transformation. And when she's doing her transformation, you can still see that on her gun, she has the charms there. Like, hers has so much...
So you like that it actually shows her personality within the costume itself.
Like, it shows that she has personality, and on top of that, it doesn't seem forced. Like, her transformation and posing was so much better. Like, I like both Reiji and hers.
Just leave it at
so
the fact that you really
yeah,
like Luminous.
I like Luminous. Yeah, I'll put it at 1.
All right, Will.
We are ranking the transformation scene in comparison to the other 2 characters?
Transformation with costume.
The extended one.
No. Sorry, let me go ahead and rephrase it. Let's just go ahead and do the costume itself, and then if we want to add on any flair to it, we can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I definitely put hers first. I like hers a lot. The hidden design with the glowing parts was just a bonus, but I like her design the most out of all 3. The other 2, the Gavan Red looks really good. It's a solid Gavan suit. Gavan Blue is okay. I think it's too silver for me, because it just kind of like sucks a lot of it all blends, and it kind of just looks silver, which would be fine. That is a Gavan thing to have an all-silver suit. But his design, for some reason, as much as I like that it looks like he's got a little jacket on, I prefer the way they pulled it off with gold more. I also like the color more. Just like how I like red, that his is mostly red. I get that it goes with the character for his to be mostly silver and then a little bit of blue, but I think I just would have liked to see a little more primary on it, and it would still lose to the gold one, because I really like this design so far.
Yeah,
Granted, there's a chance that we're missing like 2 whole Gavans, so we might be looking at a 4 and a 5.
I'm thinking that we're going to be getting a total of 6, and that might not include Death Gavan, but who knows, maybe Death Gavan will join us.
Yeah, possibly.
Alright, so we've got her at number 1. That's good for me because I concur with both of you. Alright. we've got 2 more things to rank. Next thing is the favorite moments within the episode. Now, what would you guys say is your favorite moment? I'm going to go first, and then if you guys have anything that you want to be as different, then we'll go ahead and look, try to hash it out. But for me, my favorite moment was the introduction of Kiki and Koto to Reiji, where it was just about them displaying their personalities to him showing up, and they're freaking out, but then once they realize that he's a another officer, they try to show their little hand signal, or not hand signal, their salute. And I don't know, it's just the fact that we get basically 3 introductions to them. We get the one at the very end of the last episode, which I still find weird. We get the one at the beginning where they're on their way to the crime scene, and then we get the one again where Reiji is introduced to them. Each time it's showing like little bits of personality to them, but the more you see of them, the more you actually like get a better understanding. And I really liked that. But as a close second, and may actually tie with it, it's the moment where you find out that Kiki is actually the Luminous Gavan, where you do get that bait and switch moment, and it goes to show you that she is the Gavan. And it was just a really cool moment. I'm like, I wasn't expecting it. I should have, but I didn't. And I was so happy that it was her. So it's a toss between those 2 for me. But what about you guys?
Paul?
Okay. All right. I was going to let you go first. Will. I'm still narrowing mine down.
Okay. So I'm going to be honest. I really like the Law and Order opening with the 2 characters, because it lets you know really quickly the dynamic between Kiki and Koto. And I know it's not like the flashiest moment in the episode, but it establishes a lot really fast, and it just kind of like moves you in with the characters. And as a character moment, I like that. It's really good. Beyond that, I think that's probably my favorite spot in the show, in the episode. I know it's right in the beginning, and it's just them having a small conversation as they head over to do their thing, but it just gives you a lot with both of them right away, and it gives you a bunch to go off of.
So I'm going to narrow
and that's
that
without
down.
having to...
Just sorry to cut you off, but I'm going to narrow that down as to introductions of Kiki and Koto. That way, it goes with every time that we are introduced to them. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that, for at least for you and me, because it kind of goes together on that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, because that's essentially what it is. I really like that. And rather than leaning into backstory to do it, they just let the characters do their thing, and then you get introduced to them. That's probably what I am enjoying most. I do really like characters and latch onto them pretty hard in shows. That's just the way that I relate to the thing going on, is generally that.
Yeah.
Now, Paul, did you narrow yours down yet?
Yeah, and it's kind of a short, like it's along the same lines as you guys. It's the Kiki and Koto, but I'm thinking my favorite scene has to be when they meet Reiji on the ship and they're all interacting. Reiji, them, Agi, and I'm just like, the chemistry that they all had together flowed so well that you could feel the joy in that scene, that they were there.
You really
like you could feel that they actually had a good time with that scene, and it really established their characters. Yes, Koto is the straight man to Kiki's everything, but she isn't just
because she's also really hungry, and then her personality just goes wild when she's
but she isn't just straight. Like, she also has her own curiosity, she has her own sincerity. Throughout this episode you saw that in the character, and it was extremely on point in that scene that you saw that they actually cared about each other, and I actually like that. So yeah, it's the when Kiki and Koto meet Reiji scene, Reiji and Agi.
Perfect. All right. So then, next question: which letter grade? Because obviously we're really high on this. I also think that this belongs in our S rank because it wasn't flashy, but it was something that was really wholesome, and we got to experience, everything that we just mentioned. Personally, I feel like this is an S rank, moment. What about you guys?
I have to agree with us because it literally took away my majority of the scenes. I am being, I don't know why the set gets to me. The fact that it just looks so fresh and simplistic, but during that scene, I didn't care about the backdrop. They were it to me. It was them. Nothing else mattered. The CG, whatever, could have been total ass, but how that scene was, it was perfect. So to me, it was an S rank.
Will?
I agree. I would put this episode up there. It's got a lot of heart and character, and it's a lot of fun.
So, we all agree it's an S, but is it better than the Zord hallway run?
No.
In episode 2?
No. No. Like, it's... okay. It's like comparing apples to candy.
But that's what we're here to do.
No, this can't.
It's going to upset you, but I also want it to upset other people.
Like, you can't compare. One is literally pure geekdom going all out. Like, that is like that moment.
You see, I think you can compare. Because, one, it is part of the same show. And two, you're getting completely, different experiences, but one will actually make you feel better over the other one.
Yeah. One's a momentary endorphin high, and the other one makes your heart feel good.
Is character progression. I'll come back to you. Will, what do you think? Does it go above or below the Zord hallway run?
I'll put it above it. As much fun as the hallway run was, that's a part of an episode. This entire episode feels a lot better.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, Paul, you have a chance to defend yourself or submit.
I have to submit on this one. I'm just thinking, like, the hallway run, it's...
Paul backed out because he's a little bitch.
No, because literally the hallway run is something that is in one episode. Like Will was saying, their chemistry is something that will carry from episode to episode to episode to episode to episode and will make other things more impactful and better. So, yes, this would get the S. This would be above the hallway.
Okay. So, the last thing that we're going to rank, and then we're going to finally finish the episode for the night. Gavan Infinity fights ranked. Now, technically, there was really only one fight, but if you want to try to break it down, we've got the original fight when they're right outside, when Dentsu shows up with the dragon. We've got the Zord fight against the dragon. And then we've got the Luminous Henshin, which wasn't really a fight, but it was just basically, I have gun, I blow you up. So, if we were to break it down into those three things, which one was the better one? Now, as much as I loved the choreography from this first one, it did feel like what Will said earlier, that it was basically just, hey, just, videotape a bunch of people, doing fights off in the street and see what we get. And I like some of the stuff, like I mentioned before, with the back-to-back, Gavan with Kodo, or the fact that he henshin right as a defense mechanism against the bubble beam. That was cool. But honestly, nothing was as hyped to me as that Monster Hunter moment, where it just goes slice and dice against the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, that's where I would place it as really cool. But I want to hear what you guys think, and then also where would we put it as a letter grade? Because with that being said, like, the episode was really good, but the fights feel like there's something missing there. And as much as I really, really like that Monster Hunter thing, I feel like I wanted a bit more. Just something, I don't know what I could have gotten, but I feel like there's something there that if it had just done something a little different or just something a little more, it would have been S rank, but currently for me it's at an A rank for that specific scene. But what about you guys?
I'm going to put the Luminous as my top.
The I have big gun, I blow you up?
Yep. I have a weapon wheel. And then the other ones are like, she has a what now? And she uses her weapon wheel to equip 2 weapons, and then she wins. I just really like that transformation, followed by the showing that she can do that, and then firing. It was very cool. I think that part of what's missing... Look, I like this show. It's fun. They don't have a budget for hiring, like, really talented, like, good fight people. Their stunt team seems to be decent, but their actors are very... They're very oof. They either don't know how to fight or do stage fighting, or they're just like...
It's very stage fighty. Like, you could see them
it's
pulling
very,
their punches.
This is very B-movie... it feels like a B movie when they're fighting, quote unquote. It feels like a B movie. This is not like, the highest level. They're really pushing people at the peak of their game. This is, it's functional. It works. It does everything it needs to, but you can very clearly see some people being much more comfortable than others. And it reads. Like, I love choreography of pretty much any kind. And I have seen more than enough. This is B level. It is entirely serviceable, and sometimes it hits a little above its grade, but it is very B movie. That would help a lot if those scenes had more in it, because they wouldn't have to rely so much on like CG and After Effecting to make something cool. You would just have it enhance. It would be more fun and interesting. The guy playing Reiji, I think, has some sort of experience that is higher than most of the other people. Like when Kodo was fighting, she wasn't very good at all. She was very slow, very much trying not to hit people and stuff, which is fine. But that either means one of two things. Either she's not as experienced, the team's not as experienced, or they didn't have enough time to really, really like dial it in. Because when you're moving like that, it's one of those things coming through. You lack the skill and experience, you don't feel comfortable, which is either part of that, or you just didn't have enough time to learn it and really lean in. Because part of why movies work and are interesting is because they practice it enough where they get really comfortable whiffing like an inch or less off of each other, and occasionally actually hitting each other, because it looks really, really good. And then half of it comes down to, or actually more like 70% of it comes down to the stunt team doing a really, really good job of selling that the actor knows what they're doing.
You know who's
and
good
even
at
if the
selling?
actor
You
is
are. You're
terrible,
bringing me back down. You're bringing me down to a B.
It's because you picked the wrong moment. The answer is when Luminous transforms. Thank you.
Yeah, that's literally it.
I mean, but all around you are right, though. I mean...
Yeah,
and
right. As much as I love the show, this is the critique that I would have from the beginning. And again, this is a TV show. It's weekly. The actors are fucking young. And, like, when they're that young, they either have, like, a deep physical knowledge from beforehand. They did gymnastics. They did martial arts, which is gymnastics and fighting. They did something where they learned all of this, or they didn't, and it's going to take a lot of time for them to get used to it. And because it's a TV show, they're not going to be able to, because they don't have the money to just abandon the world for 6 months to go learn from this incredibly talented person. Like, it's like if you want to learn how to do something, you go off and do it yourself, or you hire someone who's at the peak of that or has been there, who can tell you what you're doing wrong and make you really, really good in a short time. These are TV actors. They're all very young. They know how to, because the dancing they're doing is also silly and fun. That is not complicated dancing. That is very, very kid show dancing. That is like when this is a stage show, they're gonna do that to end the performance.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that
I watched the dance at the end, and I had my audio off, and I could literally see where everyone was like, 1, 2, 3, step, 1, 2, 3, step, 1, 2, 3, step, 1, 2, 3, step. Like,
yep. Yeah, they're not super comfortable with like the dancing, and they're just like really dialing in. I gotta get this right. I gotta get this right. I gotta get this right. And it's like, we get it. You guys don't have like a dancing background. You don't have the fighting background. Yeah,
but no, I have to agree. The only good part of the fight scene in this episode was Kiki blasting away the monster. It's not that... yeah.
Same one as me. The Luminous
Yeah,
transformation.
But it's not that... Like, this episode had a lot of things good for it. The fight choreography was not one. And you could definitely tell some things were put in there to look cool and to sell stuff, while other things were just thrown in just to deal with them.
Okay, I can understand that. So Christian chimed in. He said, when it comes to the henshin and the costume, he ranks it as an S, but everything else, as he mentioned before, was just a C. Mm-hmm. His favorite moment was the Luminous fight, but he still does rank pretty much everything else as a C. Yeah. So considering that I'm A, you two are B, and he's a C, we're stuck in the middle there. So we're just going to go ahead and put it as B. So that's our first B entry. The Luminous Henshin and Weapon Wheel.
Yeah. And it's nothing against it. It's just... It wasn't... They've done better before.
I don't think we need to defend our choices at this point. But that's everything that we got for this particular episode. It was a blast watching it. I cannot wait for next week's. I'm actively not watching the previews because I want to be surprised with what we've got coming next. Yeah. So... yeah, that's all I got. What about you guys? You got anything else you want to plug before we head off for the night?
No, I'm good.
Will?
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on this wonderful special. We shall see you next week. And then also, coming up this weekend, we've got our first movie special for this season. It's going to be the original Godzilla movie. So we're going to be watching the Japanese cut. So if anybody wants to, listen in or watch the movie with us, you absolutely can. This episode is going to be fun to talk about too. So, Toku for 2 activated, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.